their experience of multiple operation has to be addressed by the present the strategies of universities, and there we have failed. And in fact, and then it also, if it's an intersectional approach, it will also help to make the education system very inclusive in a meaningful way. Okay, and the other issue that I would like to discuss is about the gender responsive curriculum, which is very, very important issue in education. So when we talk about gender responsive curriculum, we need a gender sensitive teacher, we need gender friendly schools and colleges, and we also need gender friendly pedagogy, because all these things work together, right? So we need to check like in committee, is there is gender inclusive or not who are developing curriculum, gender expert को involvement छ कि छैन, हाम्रो सिलेबसमा प्रयोग गर्ने टेक्स्ट बुकहरू, रिडिङ मेटेरियल्सहरूमा चाहिँ जेन्डर ब्यालेन्स कतिको छ, are we using the both from the female writers and the male writers, or we just producing only male writers work there? And also like हामीले प्रयोग गर्ने टेक्स्टहरू, इमेजेसहरू, इलिस्ट्रेसन्सहरू, how free it is of gender biasness, right? अनि like कक्षा कोठामा how conducive the environment is in the classroom, where every students, boys and girls, they can express their needs, they can express their opinions, and so, and then feel free to talk about their feelings, their reflections, and also give some inputs to the curriculum and all those things. So I think the students in the master degree, like in the higher education, should also be able to identify the gender stereotypes if the teacher is doing that, or if their colleagues are doing that, or if the institution is not supporting it. So in that case, यो अलिकति हामीले यस्तो गरेनौँ भने समाजमा चाहिँ अब हामीले अलि लैङ्गिक we also need to be aware about own gender rules, so that we said no to these kind of gender biased practices. All right, so gender, and then in Kathmandu University, as I am also the gender coordinator and the NORHED project, we are now here working in order to produce a resource book for gender responsive curriculum, and I'm hopeful that after we produce it, it will be taken as a guide in not only in education, School of Education, but in other schools of KU as well, where they can make gender responsive curriculum. And I think that, and then the third issue I would like to talk about is the organizational culture. So because that's very, very important in order to support this, for the gender equality. So like organization को अलिकति chilly environment हुन्छ कि, chilly climate हुन्छ, unfavorable climate that that does not favor the women, the female learners, and that impairs the learning process. Okay, so if they are not comfortable, in the classrooms, then it definitely will hamper the learning process. And not only with the female learners, and it's more in the organizational culture, it's more about the female faculties, right? So female faculties are never been taken seriously by the authority. So actually, their capability has always been gendered, it's always been questioned, and they have to prove it every time. All right, so because of all this culture, which is a chilly climate for women, there is a chronic lack of recruitment, promotion, and retention of female faculties in academia. And we need to address the barriers that they have gone through, so that we can have more female faculties in academia. And then now, for these, in order to improve this organizational culture, what could be the direction? What is the direction for the university? In my opinion, that is the LACIP, right? LACIP is a very, very useful tool in order to fight against discrimination, harassment, and bully that's happening within the culture, within the organization, right? So anyone can be an LA, right? So हामीले यो अहिले रुकुमको घटनामा पनि अहिले हामीले कति धेरै जना मान्छेले यो जातीय विभेदको बारेमा प्रश्न चिन्ह गरिरहेका, प्रश्नहरू उठाइरहेका छन्, प्रोटेस्टहरूको विरोध गरिरहेका छन्, हैन, नारा लगाइरहेका छन्, सडकमा आएर प्रदर्शनहरू गरिरहेका छन्. सो यो भनेको चाहिँ it's not about the Dalit versus non-Dalit, but it's about the crass discrimination versus everyone, right? So that is elusive. So यदि महिलालाई पनि हामीले यदि यो शिक्षा क्षेत्रमा उनीहरुको स्तर उनीहरुलाई बढी सहभागिता गराउन छ भने we need to have elusive. Okay, so where in these every man and women and other group also can join this LSM. So they support each other, okay? So they have to speak up in support of women and to amplify their voice and to identify the gender biasness or stereotypes that's happening in the organization. सो इफ युआर एन एलए, यदि भनौँ न म पुरुष हुँ र म एलएमा बन्न चाहन्छु भने मेरो केही भूमिका हुन्छ, कसैलाई बाहिरी देखावटी सहयोग सपोर्ट गरेर मात्र हुँदैन के. सो वी निड रेस्पेक्ट फर वुमेन फ्रम इनसाइड, अलराइट. Then we need to have commitment, so that whatever is there, whatever will happen, will be there, standing by your side to support you. Okay, so we need to have also this practice के यो एकैचोटिमा हुँदैन, पटक पटक गरिराख्नु भयो एकचोटिमा पनि, एकचोटिमा हामीले आवाज उठायो त्यसपछि सक्यो भन्ने होइन. जति पटक हुन्छ त्यति पटक नै हामीले चाहिँ एउटा आफ्नो महिलाहरूको मुद्दाहरूलाई चाहिँ उठाउनको लागि त्यति नै हामीले एकदमै स्ट्रङ रूपमा चाहिँ भोइस उठाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ होइन. त्यसपछि एकदम आफ्नो जेन्डर भूमि रोलमा चाहिँ सचेत हुनु पर्यो क्या. If we are self-aware, then we will not be committing any kind of gender biasness to our colleagues, to our students, all right, to any other staffs of our organization. So if we have this kind of LAC in organization, then it will help to improve the organizational culture and also to include more unrepresented groups that we see in today's higher education. So and then the last one is very, very important, and this is about the widening gender gap. So widening gender digital gap. Okay, so we know it's a digital world, right? So those who have gender skills, or sorry, those who have digital skills, access to all these digital devices, and have a platform to activate their skills, they are successful. They are being known as an expert. They make money. They are present everywhere, whether it's virtual or face-to-face, everywhere, right? So, but those who don't have their skills, those who don't have access to internet, those who don't have a platform to, like say their words, then they suffer. They are excluded. And in these two groups, women are the one who fall into the second category. All right, so that's why we need to worry about this women and the widening gender digital divide that we see in the present context, right? So and now because of this COVID-19, the government has ordered the stay at home, right? Order is there, and because of that, we know that women's involvement is, they are heavily engaged in the household work. And then they also have to help their children with the online classes. And whenever it's about giving a smartphone or giving laptops to the children for the online classes, these are the women at home, not the men actually. So women, they give their laptops in order to have their online classes, and they support. They are meant to. I'm not blaming, like, please don't feel so very often about this, but this is the general tendency that we see in our society, right? So and then because of these heavily engaged in household work or this sort of unpaid care work at house, these women, they are women who are the working women, who are adult female learners. They are not able to concentrate in their study. They are not able to concentrate in their professional development, right? So because of these, now it's women will be lagged behind. They will lag behind in the coming years, because the the journals, international and international journals, they have reported that due to this lockdown state, they are receiving very less articles from women scholars, very less actually. And you can see when women has to make their presence in the academia, they need to make some publications, right? The scholars have to do publications, and when they are not able to do so, definitely it will hamper the promotions or retention or recruitment and all those things. So it's very, very important. Why they are not doing this. It's not just asking the women, they don't like it, they don't do it. It's not like that, but they there's conditions that they are involved in at home, and they have they put everything for their children and husband, and for the happiness of the family, and they keep their work aside, and because of that, they are not able to do so. These things we have to take into consideration. And when talking about this, gender digital divide, the other important thing is that the girls and the women in the digital platform, there is increased risks of falling into these being a victim of cyber or cyber crime. All right, so it's very, very important, and actually this has been very neglected issue, but it's very emerging. It's happening in many houses in the world. So there is their vulnerability has much increased in the digital platform. There's a lot of cybercrime is happening, and the women, since they don't have much access to these knowledge or skills towards tackling with this kind of cybercrime, they are falling victims of this. Okay, so there's what kind of cyber crimes they're having, because there is cyberbullying, and there is exclusion from the group. If there is some informations to be disseminated and all those things. There's cyber stalking, there's frapping. Frapping is having the fake ID and posting all inappropriate nasty comments there. And there's fake profile fake profiles is there, and dishing is there, damaging the women's like or somebody's image, all right, or reputations in the society. Trickery, and sharing the private informations, and all these things. And then trolling also. You can also see so many memes is about women in during there's a lockdown, right? So these are also these are all trolling. This is making the women more victim, and making more women more vulnerable in this digital platform. So and then due to this COVID-19, the schools are closed, the colleges are closed, and the other concern is also that these girls are more at risk, because the studies has shown that there are more chances of these girls to drop out from the school program even after this crisis will end. Okay, like if you can see the data from the Malala Fund, they say is that they have estimated the number that there would be more than 10 million secondary school girls who will be the dropouts after this crisis. Okay, so you can see the dropouts, and we already have about 17,000 dropout girls in our country. So, and then there have also many cases, reported by Worek, that girls, they have, like they have eloped, or, there's child marriage is happening, and domestic violence, all these things. Because of that, they are not able to, they might not join the school again after this crisis. So actually, these are very, very important concerns. So these were the five major important issues that I have put forward. And I would like to thank Kathmandu University School of Education once again for giving me this opportunity, and to raise this issue of gender issues in education, which has to be addressed at local level and global level, in joint, from everyone, for joint effort. Yeah, thank you.